opportunity to explain. You've written several letters to the editor on this topic, so that's why I wanted to raise it, and that is the statewide property tax relief from casino gambling. Your letter in September of this year said, "We, the voters and taxpayers, receive very little in the form of property tax relief." In 2009, the state gave $770 million in property tax relief. About 110,000 Pennsylvania seniors paid no taxes this year because of it. Were you not aware of those figures? When you
I'm aware of it. What I was referring to in there was that, and I will say to you, before I wrote that letter, I had a lot of conversation with a lot of friends and see what did you think was going to happen. People were not really aware that there was going to be money set aside for things other than direct tax relief. I thought I was going to get tax relief and you and each one of us would. When in fact they took a good hunk of that money, and I'm going to tell you, this is my honest opinion, they gave it to communities for pet projects. And that gave these legislators political support.
So were you using that statement that we receive very little as
$250 is
$250,
I think is what we got, and I don't think that was what it was meant to be. I understand we got, everybody who owned a property got $250 for that residence that they lived in, but there was a lot of that money that went in other directions, and I didn't know it, and maybe because I didn't read that legislation, and if you've ever seen a piece of legislation, I don't know who does read them, to be honest with you, even the legislators. They take a lot of people's words that this is what it actually says. I thought it was going to be more. Now we're in another phase where they're going to have table gambling. They're going to use it to balance the budgets, but they haven't done nothing to control their budgets. If it's going to be, I saw this as the only opportunity for true tax relief for everybody. And senior citizens, we do have a program now. If you're not financially well off as a senior citizen, we do have a tax rebate. So I didn't see them as being even part of that formula. I was seeing it more of the working person, the guy with a young man with a family, trying to own his own home. That's really where my direction was. And if I wrote that letter poorly, if I didn't make myself understood, that was my intention in it.
Other questions from the group? I think that takes care of my questions, but is there anything that we didn't ask about, or do you particularly wanted to mention? Or do we cover your...
By the time I cross the street and hit my car, I'm going to wish I could come back here and, I know what I wanted to say. No, I'm telling you that I try to make the impression, give the impression that this is not a life and death issue for me. It's something I think I have something to offer. And Tommy Tighe in a debate one day, he was our state representative, and I got a little chuckle out of it. He says, I'm not telling you I'm the best qualified for this job. He said, I'm telling you I'm the best qualified of those running. And that's how I feel about this thing. I think I'm the best man for this job. I hope the voters see it that way. And if they don't, then I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to go down to the coffee shop at the South Pittston Social Club the next morning, and we're going to continue to solve the problems of the world, And that's how I'm going to approach it. If I win this thing, it's going to be a good thing for me and for everyone else, I hope. I really believe in myself. And if I don't win it, life won't end.